And as we read, we will see more that lets us know when we were able and when we are able to keep this great feast, it must be according to the guidelines and specifications of the Most High Himself. And then we have number 2. Can any male that is not born to the house of Israel or brought with our money keep the Passover? And that is no. Now, why do we come to that answer? If we look in the 12th chapter of Exodus again. The 12th chapter, we go to the 43rd to the 45th verse of the 12th chapter of Exodus. Here's what we will find.
Exodus 12 and 43. And Yahweh said unto Moshe and Aaron, this is the ordinance of the Passover. There shall no stranger eat thereof.
No stranger should eat thereof.
But every man's servant
that
is bought for money,
when
thou hast circumcised him, then shall he eat thereof.
Very, very significant, because I was talking to some of my brothers the other day that are Pentecostal Hebrews and Apostolic Christians, and they also said they keep the Passover. And I brought to their attention, how can you keep the Passover since you teach against circumcision? And he said, well, you don't have to be circumcised because Paul said that circumcision availeth nothing. I said, Paul? And he said, yes, Paul said. Now, what is the problem that we have when Paul, or if we do something contrary to what Yahweh spoke expressively out of his mouth? Although someone else says something different, how should we regard that? Well, let me show you how the Creator regarded it. The Creator said in the book of Jeremiah, the 17th chapter, said in the book of Jeremiah, the 17th chapter, we all have it. Let's start at the 5th verse and see what thus said Yahweh.
Jeremiah 17 and 5. Thus saith Yahweh.
Thus said Yahweh. Something you'll never find in the New Testament where the Creator is speaking. Something you'll never find in the Quran. Something you'll never find in the New Testament. Something that you'll never find in the Hadiths, nor the Sunnahs, where the Creator himself is speaking. No book has the words of the true and living Elohim in it outside of the Holy Scriptures, or what is called the Scriptures of Truth, or pertain to today as the Old Testament. This is the only book that you will find in the world that has the words where Yah himself is speaking. And the Creator starts off to letting you know he's speaking in first person by saying, thus said Yahweh.
Cursed be the man.
Cursed be the man.
That trusteth in man.
That trusts in JC. That trusts in Paul. That trusts in Peter. That trusts in Muhammad. Cursed be the man.
And maketh flesh his arm.
And maketh flesh his arm.
And whose heart departed from Yahweh.
And whose heart depart from Yahweh. And you know when their heart is departing from Yahweh, or you're telling what Yahweh said, and before you can get it out your mouth, they're going to stop and tell you what Paul said. Yeah, I know that, but Paul said. Yeah, you're right, but Paul said. And I said, well, who is this Paul? That's when the Creator said, curse it, and let you know that he's personally placing a curse on anyone that trust in a man and put that man in front of him. And he says it by saying, cursed be the man that maketh flesh